Welcome back to The Explainer. Look, choosing the right accounting software, it's a huge decision for any business that's starting to grow. Today, we're diving into an absolute heavyweight in the industry, Sage 50. This is going to be your complete buyer's guide.
So, does this feel familiar? You're just drowning in spreadsheets, or maybe your current accounting software just can't keep up anymore. Yeah, if your business has these really complex needs that those simple cloud apps just aren't built for, you know exactly what this pain point feels like. You need more muscle, right? More control, more precision.
You know, for a lot of businesses, the answer isn't another app in the cloud. It's something more substantial, a workstation. And today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most powerful desktop-first solutions out there, Sage 50. It's a legendary name for sure, but the big question is it the right fit for your business right now?
All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down for you. We'll start with what Sage 50 even is, then who it's really for. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of its power features, break down the cost, and finally, check out what actual users have to say about it.
Okay, let's kick things off. What is Sage 50? And we really need to get clear on this because honestly, the name can be pretty confusing. That cloud part especially can throw people for a loop.
Okay, so this is probably the most important thing you need to get. Sage 50 is what we call a hybrid system. It's not like QuickBooks Online where you just log in through your web browser. Nope. The actual software, the main program, gets installed right onto your computer. That's where you get all that raw power and speed from. It's running locally.
And this slide really spells it out. Think of Sage 50 as desktop software that has some really nice cloud perks, like remote access and backups. But Sage Accounting? That's a totally different beast. It's 100% cloud-based, just like you'd expect from a modern web app. The key takeaway here, they are absolutely not the same thing.
Okay, so now that we know what it is, who is this actually for? Because let me tell you, this is definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution. Yeah, this is the perfect way to think about it. It's less like an app you download and more like a high-performance workstation you install. We're talking about businesses that value that deep, granular control way more than the easy-breezy simplicity you get with a lot of cloud apps. This is for folks who need some serious industrial-strength tools. So if you're in construction or manufacturing or distribution, listen up. This software was literally built with you in mind. The way it handles super detailed job costing and really complex inventory, that's exactly why it's such a powerhouse in these specific industries.
So what makes it a workstation? What are the features under the hood that give it this reputation for being so powerful? Let's take a look.
Okay, so it has all the core stuff you'd expect, right? Payroll, reporting, cash flow, the whole shebang. But there are a couple of features here that really truly set it apart, especially for those industries we just mentioned. Let's zoom in on those. First up, advanced job costing. And for any business that runs on projects, think construction, skilled trades, this is basically the holy grail. We're not just talking about looking at a project after it's done and seeing if you made a profit. No, this lets you track every little cost, labor, materials, overhead in real time. You can see exactly where your money is going and where the profit leaks are while the job is still happening. That is a game changer. And then there's the inventory management. And again, we're talking about something way beyond just counting how many widgets you have on a shelf. This system can handle serialized inventory. That means tracking every single item by its unique serial number. It can also manage complex bills of materials, which are basically the recipes for things you build. It's a whole other level of detail that simpler software just can't handle. All right, so you're probably wondering, what's all this power going to cost me? Let's talk money. Time to break down the pricing for Sage 50.
So the starting line, the entry point for one user on their pro accounting plan is going to run you about $62 a month. That's your foot in the door.
But of course, it doesn't stop there. As you can see, the plans really scale up. When you jump from Pro to Premium, you start getting features for bigger operations, like handling multiple companies and better audit trails. And then when you get to Quantum, well, now you're talking about supporting up to 40 users with really specific security permissions for everyone on the team. So the price goes up, but so do the capabilities.
Now this is super important, so don't miss it. Every single one of these plans requires a 1-year commitment. This isn't like a Netflix subscription you can cancel anytime. When you sign up, you're in for the whole year. So you really need to factor that into your decision.
Okay, so we've talked features, we've talked price, but what do people who use this software every single day actually think about it? Let's get into the real-world user verdict.
And when you look at the pros and cons side by side, a really clear picture emerges. It's all about a trade-off. On one hand, you get this incredibly powerful, comprehensive, and customizable system. But on the other hand, yeah, the interface looks a bit dated, it's pricier, there's a steep learning curve, and forget about a great mobile app experience. It's power versus polish.
But here's what's so interesting. Even with those cons, look at the ratings across the board. They're really solid. What that tells me is that for the right kind of business, the one that truly needs this power, Sage 50 absolutely delivers. They know what they're getting into, and they're happy with the result. And this user quote just nails it. They talk about these secure transactions in the nice audit trail. See, for businesses where that stuff, compliance, security, having a perfect paper trail is non-negotiable, all those cons we mentioned just don't matter as much. That rock-solid reliability is what they're paying for.
So it all comes down to this one big question for your business. In a world that's all about the cloud and simplicity, is the raw precision of a dedicated workstation like this worth the extra complexity? The answer really depends on what your business values more: ease of use or uncompromising power and control, and only you can answer that.